Welcome to a Niger Man's Perspective. Today we're going to be talking about the Wimbledon 2024 final between Alcaraz and Djokovic. You guys know who Alcaraz and Djokovic is, right? Come on, guys. Come on. I'm not only going to be talking about breaking news and documentaries. Sometimes let's get lively. Let's talk about little sports here and there. So if you're a tennis fan, obviously you clicked on this. If you're not a tennis fan, you don't know what tennis is. You guys should know what tennis is. Anyway, let's get into it. So, Carlos Alcaraz is current. I think he's world number 2. Is it world number 2? I think he's world number 2. Great player. He's playing Novak Djokovic, who is the greatest tennis player of all time, on 24 slams won. Alcaraz is on 3 slams won. Alcaraz is 21 years old and he's already won 3 slams. If you know what tennis is and how difficult it is, you know how great that achievement is. He's already a great player. And Djokovic, the greatest of all time, has won 24 slams. But he's 37, right? So he's 37. So 16-year age gap. And I read today that the Djokovic-Alcaraz Wimbledon final will be the most expensive get-in final ticket in the history of sports, period. NBA, NFL, football, Super Bowl, World Cup finals. Think about all the finals you've ever seen in any sport, even boxing. Now, guess what? $10,000 is the cheapest, the worst seat at tomorrow's final at Wimbledon 2024. Wimbledon is in England. Tennis is a game played by men and women. You know, it hits a ball sometimes over the net. You guys know what tennis is. You know, stop playing with me. If you're new to my channel, please like this video, subscribe. Let's get into it. So today I'm going to be doing an analysis, in-depth analysis of this final between Alcaraz and Djokovic. Now, how did Alcaraz get to the final? Very quickly. First round, he played Mark Lajal. Second round, he played Alexander Vukic. Third round, he played Francis Tiafoe. That match was so close. He actually was close to losing, but Alcaraz found a way to win that match. Very dramatic, high quality. Tiafoe got tired, I think, towards the last couple of sets. Round of 16, he played Hugo Humbert. Straight sets. Straight sets means winning three times in a row without losing any sets. The Grand Slam format is best of 5 sets. So to win a Grand Slam match, you have to win 3 or 5 sets. So if you win 3 sets in a row, it's considered a straight sets victory. As the format says, you can win 3 sets and the opponent can win 2 sets, meaning 3-2. So it could be 3-0, 3-1, or 3-2. Are you guys staying with me? Quarterfinal, he played Tommy Paul. Some consider that match to be his toughest match. It was really good. And Alcaraz came from behind to win that one. Tommy Paul won the first set, and then Alcaraz the guy just moved up a gear, man, and won in 4 sets. The semifinals was a very tough match as well. He played that with Daniel Medvedev. He came through to that one and is in the final. Now let's go to Djokovic. Djokovic is on the verge of his 25th career Grand Slam. Like this guy is just... And just a few weeks ago, about 5 weeks ago, he injured his meniscus. And he had... meniscus is based in your knee. And he had to do knee surgery after he exited at Roland Garros, which is the French Open. And he's in the final at 37. Anyway, let's quickly talk about his route to the final. First round, he played Vit Kobriva. Second round, he defeated Jacob Fernley. Third round, Alexei Popyrin. Round of 16, Holger Rune. It got a walkover in his quarterfinal match against Alex de Minaur from Australia, who had to Alex had to he had to withdraw due to injury, and his semi-final victory was won against Lorenzo Musetti. Now that I have talked about both players with respect to how they got to the final, let's get into my analysis. So, my analysis, I'm going to go into the pros and cons, or rather the strengths and weaknesses, not pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses between both men. So, tennis, the most important point in tennis is the serve, right? Where you throw the ball up in the air and you smack it over the net, and the aim is for the ball not to come back. The ball always comes back, or well, most of the time the ball comes back. So you have to do this back and forth till you win the point, and you have to win enough points to win a game, and enough games to win a set, and enough sets to win the match. So this video is not a technical analysis of the point construction. So let's get back into it. So, given that the serve is the most important point in the game because it starts the actual game, let's look at the differences and the strengths and weaknesses between both. So Alcaraz, I'll give Alcaraz a yes, meaning like a tick for his serve. It has a very powerful serve, but Djokovic is a better server. Djokovic is a better spot server. Djokovic is a better server under pressure. Djokovic is the more consistent server. He's definitely been on tour longer, and he's the better player on serve. But Alcaraz has the more powerful serve, but his serve is not as consistent. So in the matches before this, the Medvedev match, the Tommy Paul match, his serve was just, he was doing low numbers, 43%, 50%, serve rate. But he managed to still win those matches because he's Carlos Alcaraz. He's already great at 21. So let's get back into my analysis. So serve wise, I'll say Djokovic edges this because he's the more consistent server. Let's go to the forehand. So in the forehand, I'll say Carlos Alcaraz edges this. Djokovic has a great world-class forehand. Alcaraz has a great world-class forehand. However, Djokovic's forehand is not as damaging. It's still potent, it's still world-class, it's still elite, but it is not as damaging. The damage that Carlos Alcaraz does with his forehand is currently more than the damage that Djokovic does on his forehand. So I would say he edges this. So when I say edge, I'm probably like playing around 55 to 45 or 52 to 48. I'm not saying it's a 70-30, but I have to pick a winner. So I'm going with Alcaraz. The backhand, I'll say, is a draw. If you asked me this a month ago, no, not a month ago. If you asked me a year ago, I'll definitely go for Djokovic's two-handed backhand, which is a destructive shot. But boy, oh boy, Carlos Alcaraz has improved. My man has improved. Let me say that again. My man has improved his backhand. His backhand is now potent. He's doing cross-court. He's doing cross-court winners. He's doing down-the-line winners. He's slicing his background. He's volleying with his background. He's doing drop shots with his backhand. Cross-court drop shots with his backhand. His backhand has really, really improved. Really, really improved. So it's hard for me to say at this point that Djokovic has a better backhand. So I'll say it's a draw. The return of serve. Some people say Djokovic is the best returner of all time. I think it might be Andre Agassi. Everybody has their own choice. He's definitely up there. And I will give Djokovic an edge for return of serve. However, Carlos Alcaraz can break you at any time, and sometimes it's not going to be your errors that will make him break you. It will be his sheer offensive abilities. But we'll get to that in a minute. Net game, I'll say Alcaraz. Both of them volley well, but Djokovic makes some errors at the net, some silly mistakes at the net. I'll say Alcaraz is a better volleyer at the net. So volleys, think about volleys, drop volleys, dry volleys, serve and volleys. Alcaraz is superb, elite, world class, and I think is better. Let's go to the feel of the game. So I mentioned drop shots earlier. So in tennis, you have drop shots where you will just, when you see your play, when you see that the other player is behind, right? You just play the ball very soft, and the guy is like scrambling, trying to get to the point. And before he gets there, the ball has bounced twice, and your opponent has actually lost that particular point. That's what's called a drop shot. So the feel of the game, like the way he thinks, his drop shots, he lobs you. Lobbing is when you're at the net and the player raises the ball really high and the ball goes all over you, and you're scrambling behind to try and get to the ball. And, before you know it, it's bounced twice. Again, Alcaraz is just... In Yoruba, we say there's a difference between abinibi and ability. So ability is what you learn to do. Abinibi is God-given. It's God-given talent. Alcaraz has God-given talent. His feel, the way he has soft hands. I can't explain it, man. Guys, just watch. There's so many videos on Alcaraz's feel. Let's go to offense. Alcaraz, super aggressive player. Super aggressive player. I'll say he definitely edges this. He controls points. He wins and loses matches on his racket. And you will not get... listen to what Medvedev and other players have said about including Novak Djokovic himself, about his offense. His offense is incredible. Defense, I'll say this is a draw. Very difficult. You can break him, but he will break you almost immediately after. He defends very well. He defends very well. Running defensive. He can turn defense into offense very quickly. And when he's under pressure, he has a smile on his face. There's just this calmness in his defense. He knows he's going to get that ball back. And I'll say this one's a draw because Djokovic is extremely good at the baseline in the way he returns the balls and stays in the rally. And because of his low unforced error rate, you can't have a low unforced error rate if your defense is poor. So I'll say this one is a draw. Consistency, I'll say Djokovic edges this. I mentioned earlier, he has 24 slams. There's no way I can pick Alcaraz. Even if Alcaraz has not lost a match in 3 years, how long has he been on tour? He's a newbie. It's a consistent newbie, but still newbie. Djokovic, consistency, I'll put experience under that bracket as well. Consistency, experience are all within the same bracket. Consistency-wise, Djokovic edges this. Movement. Have you seen any of Alcaraz's matches in the 2024 Wimbledon? His movement is incredible. The way he moves, the speed, the way he feigns, the footwork, the way he sets up point construction, the way he gets himself in the rally. His movement is brilliant. Djokovic's movement is not what it used to be. He's 37. Hello. 37 is 37. He's a great 37, but he's still 37. He's still 37. His movement when he was 30 is better than now. He's not a better player. Djokovic is not a better player at 37. But few people are at elite level that can hang with him, which is why it seems he's getting better. It's not getting better. It's just that the other guys are not good enough or they haven't stepped up. With exception of Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, but we're not going to talk about Jannik Sinner today. Let's get back into it. Mental strength is a draw. Mental strength is linked to consistency in a way, but it's also different. So when I say mental strength, I'm saying the ability to believe in yourself, to believe you can win, and to believe you can win when you're not playing well. Right? Two different things. You can believe you win, but then when things are not going your way in a match, some players just like, you can see them, they're angry, their facial expression isn't right, they're kicking things, they're breaking rackets, they're doing all sorts of things, and the belief isn't there. The last two matches, that Alcaraz has played, he's won from behind. It was a set behind in the match against Tommy Paul. In the quarterfinals, it was also a set behind, or 2-1 behind Tiafoe in the fourth round. In the semifinals, it was also a set behind Daniel Medvedev, but he was able to win all those matches. That is mental strength. That is believing that I will win this match. Football terms, equivalent to being 2-0 down at halftime and you come and win the match 3-2 or 4-2. That's mental strength. That's believing that I will still win. That's not throwing in the towel. Now, I'm not going to say that. I can't say that he has an edge over Djokovic. But the last 2 slams, he's won matches in the business end. When I say the business end, quarterfinals, fourth round, semifinals, finals. He's been able to win those matches from being behind. So being behind doesn't faze Carlos Alcaraz. Djokovic's mental strength is something else. There was a trio. There was Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, Djokovic. Djokovic was the bottom of the trio. Maybe that's for another day, for another time, not for this video. But he was able to overcome and become greater than them with regards to his slam titles, with regards to his masters titles, despite being the one that had the least of them. So he had that belief. He fought. It wasn't the most popular out of the 3, but he kept on fighting because he believes in himself. So I'll say that this is a draw. Djokovic naturally should edge this. But the reason why I'm giving it a draw is because tomorrow is a replay of last year's Wimbledon title, where Alcaraz edged Djokovic in 5 fascinating sets. So I think Alcaraz has that mental edge, right? But because Djokovic's mental strength is consistent over decades, I'll say for this match tomorrow, I'll give it a draw. I'd like to know what you guys think in the comment section about my analysis. Do you agree with me? But before I finish, you didn't just come for me to save my analysis. You want to know who I'm supporting, right? Right? Of course you do. I'm going for Alcaraz. So if you look at the table on the screen, I've given Alcaraz 5 points. I've given Djokovic 3 points. And I believe that Alcaraz will win tomorrow in 4 or 5 pulsating sets. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.